when the clock hit 4 and would constantly check if he had arrived. She was scared of the man she loved. She was going through domestic violence. She was in this relationship for 8 years. She struggled to speak up, but she did it. It was a little too late when she did, because she was no longer with him when she decided to talk about her experience. He would take advantage of the love she had for him to do anything he wanted with her. He started by checking her phone all of the time. He wouldn't take her out as much until he ended up making her stay home. She didn't do anything wrong. He just wanted things to go his way. He didn't let her see her family because he thought that she would tell him everything he did to her. She had 2 daughters, and he didn't let them have any kind of communication with their father. Even the day when they got the news that their father had passed away, he got mad and threatened them with beating them if they cried over their father's death. When they went over to his family, she wouldn't tell them anything because they would obviously go on his side, even if he was the one doing the wrong thing. Her family never thought that this was happening because they lived kind of far. He got to the point where he ripped all of her clothes and family pictures and threw them away. He would do her shopping, but he would buy her clothes that an old lady would wear. She was only 27 years old. She wouldn't call the cops because she loved him and was confused about what was going to happen if she did.
With the research we did on domestic violence, we learned of some ways to identify someone going through it. The beginning of her story has many signs that she is dealing with domestic violence. The signs in her story were possessiveness, isolation, control of where she went or what she did, keeping her from seeing her family and her friends, destroying her belongings, and finally constantly checking up on her. We found this information on helpguide.org under the Domestic Violence and Abuse page, which also offers a hotline for people in the US, UK, and Australia. Preventing domestic violence is very important for safety reasons, and it is important for people in the relationship as well. Simple little steps can lead to preventing domestic violence. For one thing, it is important you speak out about it because if anyone gets into a very dangerous situation, you will be able to help them. If you are worried about someone's safety, it is important you contact someone like a policeman or a hotline that can always lead you on how to get out of the situation. Another very useful step is to be able to share information about this, because if someone is dealing with it, they know what signs to look for, and they know that staying in an abusive relationship is not the best choice, and the situation can always take a bad turn.
Her boyfriend didn't want her to look pretty anymore. He thought that she would just get guys' attention if she dressed nicely. He became very jealous and made her quit her job. He thought that she would just go to see guys instead of working. She didn't really talk about her personal life at work, so she wasn't going to say anything. She was scared of him and quit her job because if she didn't do what he wanted, he would turn very violent, start throwing things around, and it would just get ugly. She was also afraid that he would try something against her daughters. He wouldn't do anything against them, but he'll use them to threaten her with doing something to them, like beat them or take them away and never let her see them again.
Another one of the signs we learned about is excessive jealousy and threatening to take away her daughters and hurt them, which was not only dangerous for her, but for her daughters as well. She put herself in an even more difficult situation by quitting her job. She lowered the chances of leaving the house she lived in with her boyfriend because she no longer had a job and it would be difficult for her to get back on her feet. The situation she was in was harmful for her and for her daughters.
Her boyfriend would get drunk over the weekends, and that's when he began to physically abuse her. Her daughters would be really scared, so they'd just hide and cry. They were too scared to think of anything to do. He was a guy, way stronger than all 3 of them. He took advantage that they were all girls and had nobody else to defend them. That just scared them even more. She'll take all of that just so that he wouldn't hit her daughters. That did affect her mentally because he would tell her that she was nobody until she ended up believing it and didn't feel confident about herself anymore. Until now, she still doesn't feel confident about herself.
Her boyfriend used the excuse of being drunk to harm them and to use violence. She was also trying to protect her daughters by putting up with anything he would do to her. She was in danger. When interviewing our school counselor, Ms. Diario, who had dealt with domestic violence herself, she said something that really caught our attention, and it is a point we would like to get across. We asked her, What advice would you give someone going through domestic violence? She responded, get out. Leave the person you were with. There are all kinds of places like battered women's shelter where you can go. And it's not only women, it can be men, but it's usually women. You leave that person you are with to get away from them because there have been situations where people have been killed. And because of it, it is very important. And it's also very difficult for someone just to pick up and leave, but that's why we have places where people can go. Also, the children's experiences could have been very traumatizing. That is something that follows through a lifetime.
It was traumatizing for both of her daughters. Her youngest daughter would be really scared if she heard anything fall. She asked her mother, is he mad? Is he going to hurt you again? Her mother said, no, Brisa, he's not mad, and he's never going to hurt me again. That's the last thing my mother told me before we left the house. Yes, after that we started from the bottom, since she had quit her job because of him. But we did it. It gets to me today when I go over to my friend's house and see them and their moms happy and free to do whatever they want, because my mom's sister and I didn't get that. But it does make me happy to see that not all men treat their families the same. Going through that with my mother was hard, but it made all of us stronger.
Brisa and her sister were able to learn from their mother's experiences and now know what is normal and what isn't normal in a relationship. It is sad that children have to watch domestic violence at such a young age and have no control over it. If you know anyone dealing with domestic violence, speak out about it, because it can really change the way someone is living and prevent them from living a traumatizing life full of violence. There's always something you can do to help, and it may be life-changing. Thank you.